For today's recipe, Link will be joined by IQ, Gastro Bob, and Yar, Captain Cook. And backed up as always by Guinea Page and the Animal Crackers.
Today, we're making French onion soup. We'll need a pinch of dried thyme, 2 tablespoons of butter, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 4 large yellow onions, 1.5 cups of grated cheese. We're using a mix of mozzarella and cheddar cheese, 6 slices of French bread, 4 cups of beef stock, 4 cups of chicken stock. I'm using homemade stock, but you can use stock that comes in a can or a box. Just make sure to use low sodium. You can't make French onion soup without onions, so we need to slice these up nice and thin.
It's an upset. But what made Link so upset?
It's not that I'm upset. The onions are making my eyes tear. Inquiring minds want to know why.
An onion bulb contains sulfur that is soaked up from growing underground. And when you cut an onion, you open up the cell walls, creating chemical reactions and releasing sulfur compounds, an airborne gas. The gas hits your eyes, and the eyes get a burning feeling. So your brain sends a message to your tear ducts to start the waterworks to flush out those pesky compounds. Usually when your eyes get irritated, you want to close them. But of course, you have to keep your eyes open to cut onions, so the tears keep flowing.
I still have all these onions to cut up. That's a lot of tears. Is there a tear-free way of cutting up all these onions?
Yes, Link, there is a way, with science. Let's experiment on ways to try to minimize those sulfur compounds that come from onions.
I chop my onions cold, right out of the refrigerator. I chop onions that are peeled and soaked in water. I wear a nose clip on my nose. The onion and knife started all right, but as I peeled and sliced, the sulfur compounds hit my eyes. Imagine my surprise. And I thought, what can I do to block those sulfur compounds, those burning sulfur compounds? Get me crying.
But none of those ways of cutting up onions were tear-free. Our experiment didn't work.
Actually, Link, the experiment did work. These goggles are preventing the onion compound from getting into my eyes. Case solved.
Next time I have to slice a whole bunch of onions, I'm wearing goggles. Luckily for me, I don't have any more onions to slice. Thanks, guys. Our French onion soup's gonna cheer up the boys in the band, so let's get cooking. Raw onions can be pretty strong and sharp tasting, but by slowly cooking them over low heat, I'm gonna caramelize them.
No clue as to caramelize? Well, wonder no more. I am on the case. Vegetables, such as onions, have a lot of natural sugars in them. When sautéed, cooking them in a little bit of oil or butter, those sugars make the onions taste sweeter, and their color turns to a deep golden brown, like the color of caramels. No tricky terminology here.
Heat the butter and olive oil. Add the sliced onions. And cook over a low heat until caramelized. This should take about 45 minutes to an hour or so. Don't let them burn. Your onions should slowly turn a dark golden brown. My hands smell, well, oniony. In a world of handling onions, cooking with onions, and eating onions, we have a story about the onion smell that would not leave.
Those sulfuric compounds that make our eyes water when we chop onions is the same culprit behind onions leaving behind a smell on your hands or in your breath. The sulfuric compounds have bonded with your skin, or in the case of eating onions, have entered your bloodstream. If you love onions but don't love onions hanging around, use sweeter onions. They have less sulfuric compounds.
A sprig of parsley? I didn't order this parsley, so why is it there? A pretty garnish? Or something more mysterious going on? Wonder no more. Herbs like parsley and mint help neutralize strong flavors like onions and garlic. That's something to chew on. Mystery solved.
Now back to our soup. Let's add our caramelized onions to the pot. Add our beef stock, our chicken stock, and our thyme. And bring to a simmer and let it cook for about 20 minutes. While the soup simmers, it's time to tidy up. Lab rat, fast forward if you please.
Let's tidy up, 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 let's tidy up. When you finish and the cooking's done, let's tidy up. Even though you had lots of fun, let's tidy up. Gotta clean up the pots and pans. Let's tidy up. Put them away. You gotta wash your hands. You gotta do your best to clean up your mess. Let's tidy up. Let's tidy up. Come on, do your best to clean up your mess. Let's tidy up.
It's the 9th inning, the last 10 yards, the match point, the final round. Food has been prepared, and that's no preamble. No food fouls here. Link has been keeping it clean and keeping it focused. And from the smell of things, keeping it cooking.
That smells good. I'm gonna season to taste using some salt and some pepper. Now it's time for our gooey, crunchy topping of cheese and bread. But first, let's turn on the broiler. Toast both sides of your bread until golden. Now, cover each slice with grated cheese. And return to the broiler. Keep an eye on it. Broilers get really hot, and you don't want your cheesy bread getting burnt. Broil till the cheese starts to melt and bubble. Looks good.
I believe there is a broiling debacle in progress. When there is broiling, there must be a beat. What a day it has been in Link's kitchen. The waterworks are flowing, and not just from the tap, but from onions. Yet, with a bit of science, those sulfuric compounds were tamed, and French onion soup made. Link chopped, caramelized, toasted, and broiled. Let's check in and taste the results. I love soup. I like soup.
I like soup. I love cheese on bread. Look how gooey the cheese is. Oh no, I forgot one.
What's this? Link forgot to broil the cheese and bread topping for the 6th bowl of soup. What will he do?
Thanks, Captain Cook. All done. Come on, everybody. I had a gastro blast cooking French onion soup with you today. See y'all next time.